We're in the kitchen with the fabulous Paul Apana from Village Tavern, making that super healthy, wonderfully delicious
Chocolate mint brownies.
with like 4 layers of goodness. Okay, maybe
gosh,
it's not that healthy.
After your discussion about costumes, I guess I can't wear my costume from the 300 movie. And so now I feel bad. I better go get another one. What? You know, that movie, the 300.
I didn't see that one.
You know, you're dating yourself right now. You're dating yourself.
Does anyone know
in a good way?
Yes.
Oh,
sure.
yes, in a good way.
All the guys out there know. All the guys know what I'm talking about. But back to the recipe itself. Yes, chocolate mint brownies. There are 3 processes to it. Very simple to make, very light. Yet, you know, if you want to say light and dense at the same time, the brownie part is very dense. But when you add in the mint frosting, the chocolate glaze on top of it, I prefer to serve it cold. The Apana household prefers to serve it cold. We are all about dessert.
Well, this week we're all about home week, and everything that we want to bring to you in the show is going to be things that you can do to improve your home, to kind of improve the way you feel in your home. And this, I think, was just a natural extension of that. We said, give us one of your family favorite home recipes, and so this was it. Yep. Well, let's talk about the ingredients that we have.
Well, we have Hershey's chocolate syrup. We have a little bit of granulated sugar, flour, melted butter. We have eggs and egg substitutes, like easy eggs.
Okay.
We have a little bit of water, some vanilla extract, and salt in this particular one. A couple things I want to go out there. Baking, you know, cooking is one thing. Baking is a completely different issue as far as I'm concerned. It's more of a science. And some things you have to understand out there, you know, net weight and volume weight are not always the same thing.
Right.
For example, you know, make sure when it says 16 ounces of chocolate, get one of those 16-ounce cans. Because if you get a bottle of chocolate syrup you can use, that's actually about 1.5 cups of that. So 16 ounces of chocolate syrup is about 1.5 cups of liquid chocolate syrup. Just a little.
So the bottle, if it says 16 ounces, isn't 16 ounces?
Yeah, you know, the can is. But, you know, you have those squeeze bottles you have.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, while it says 24 ounces, they actually weigh that in a different manner. It's actually by a weight versus a volume. So that's actually has more chocolate than what actually says.
I did not know that.
It's all science. They're trying to fool you. But they're not fooling us today. So really quick, this one's about simple. Preheat your oven to about 350 degrees. In one bowl, if you like, you mix a little flour, and you're going to mix a little salt. And you're going to let that sit on its own for a little bit. And thank goodness you're here to help me, because I will need help. In the other bowl, what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of sugar. And I'm going to man you with that whisk right there. We're going to throw in some vanilla extract. About 2 tablespoons of water. We're going to put in our eggs, our egg substitute, our butter, and probably the most fun part that you got to make sure that your kids keep your fingers out of the chocolate.
Did you keep Andy's fingers out of that?
You know, I trusted her today, and she was really eager to get my cart from the car in here. And everything looks like it's still intact. So if we can just stir that up for me.
You know, every good home recipe, I think, has kind of a, oh gosh, it's thick down there with this sugar. Every good home recipe has a story behind it.
Yes.
What's the story? Because when you think of something yummy in your kitchen, you always think, oh, I remember when.
Oh, well, you know what? I will tell you, the biggest story is, and they probably get it from me, my kids are really big on desserts. And while my wife isn't particularly so, our whole tradition is we eat our food and then we gorge on dessert. And Braxton, my younger son, my daughter Brooke, my older son Braden, and I all sit around and say, oh, my stomach. I mean, almost every single time.
Really?
Let's
bring up some pictures, because I asked him to provide us with some pictures. So, is it Braden?
Braden is the older one.
Oldest one, right?
Brooke is my daughter, and Braxton's the younger one.
No, did Braden go up to U of A?
He did.
Okay,
he's a junior this year, and he has the intelligence of his mother, and the other ones have the looks of their mother. So
it's great that you put your DNA into that.
Yeah. You know, I helped a little bit. I think I was just there when they were born. That was pretty much it.
Now, honestly, somebody just asked, is that your wife? Because she looks so young, it's kind of hard to tell.
Yes. That is my wife, and yeah, she gets that a lot. She looks very young.
Yes, we were shopping for jeans at the same place one day, and I thought, this is just not right, because she was in an entirely different section than was I.
Well, I feel bad because they always ask me if I'm her younger brother or something, and I'm like, no, actually, I'm her husband.
That just leads to awkward conversations, especially in front of the kids.
That's right.
Well, Braxton's a handsome little guy, isn't he?
He is at that. He is. Back to the important stuff right now, which is, of course, my dessert, because I'm getting hungry now. But what we've done is after we mix those other items, we put the salt and the flour mixture in there. And we actually do exactly that. And I'm going to help you out.
Thank you.
You're going to put a little cooking spray on a pan. and you're going to spread out, and this is the consistency you're going to get. Now, one thing I want to tell, for those that bake out there know this very well, try to prohibit yourself from opening the oven and looking at something. Well, you'll know what brownie or cake mix is done is once the timer goes off, you're going to stick a toothpick in the middle of it, and it should be pretty clean when you pull it out. But you don't want to keep opening and closing it because it does all the heat releases, then it has to take time to reheat it, and it's really not good for the batter itself.
Okay.
So if you can keep it that way, you want to do it. That's what it's going to look like initially.
It's not like you've really kind of held back on the butter in this recipe. Why wouldn't you just butter the bottom just to give it a little bit more?
Well, there are little bits and pieces that actually will take calories out of them, like the egg substitutes instead of using an extra egg. Technically the way it works, one piece of this will probably have about 100.
We don't want to know. We don't want to. Stick around for our next segment with Apana, who's going to be adding the mint layer to the yum.